I have many testimonies, but the one I'd like to share today is regarding alcoholism. My dad was an alcoholic, and when I was young, I would have sworn that I would have never become an alcoholic like my dad. Most of his life, he was in alcoholic rehab centers, and my mom worked all the time, so she became like a workaholic. When I got born again, I really wanted to be home with my children, but my husband and I couldn't afford it, so I had to work, so we worked different shifts. So at least we could be with our children part of the time, because that was really important to me. When my husband and he was turned about 50 years old, Tim, he seemed like to me he went through a midlife crisis. He had said to me that he kind of was acting like he wanted a divorce. And he was kind of like, I'm going to move out of the house. And he worked 40 miles away from our house, and so he was going to get an apartment in Decatur, 40 miles from home. Started going to a health club, he did. Started working out with all these pretty women, and I felt threatened and jealous and concerned about him maybe even, divorcing me or going out with some other woman that was pretty and young. And so those were the feelings I was having at that time, very concerned about my marriage. There was a lot of stress. I chased him. I went to the health club. I got a health club pass just like him, everything I could to do to win him back. We were born again. We were going to church. I thought everything was fine. And he said he was bored with our life. And he said he wanted to start going out to bars and stuff like that. And I could go with him or I could stay home. He complained about all I did was sit home and read my Bible. I started going out with him because I wanted to stay with him. I wanted to be his wife. It was like there was a place in me that I think God had given me that determination. I'm not going to lose him. I'm going to do whatever I can. So I believe that it was God's working along with me, to help to bring Tim back to that place, where he felt loved and accepted and a part of. And Tim and I weren't talking very much, so that part was hard. He was at work a lot all day, and then going to the night at the health clubs, and then sometimes to the bars after that by himself with these girls. So that's kind of how it looked. But as much as I could, I would try to meet him at the bar, so I'd be there with him. I started drinking, and little by little, I became an alcoholic. I tried to stop. I tried to not drink as much, but I couldn't do it. Tim would like one drink, and he's like, okay, that's it, stop. Well, I couldn't, or didn't want to. I had the addiction, and I did not acknowledge it or be honest with myself that it was truly addiction. I just thought, I was just going out and drinking casually like Tim was, my husband, Tim. And because he's not an alcoholic, and he can have one drink and stop. I can't. Every night I would end up drinking until I would pass out and go to sleep at night, and which that became a very good sleeping pill, at least to help me go to sleep at night. The final blow was when I was out in the yard one night. I was so inebriated that I could not get up the steps by myself, and that was April 29th of 2022. I was so embarrassed and did not want any of my Christian friends to know I had this problem, and hid it from everybody. And so all along the time, the Holy Spirit would convict me, and I wanted to change. But I kept saying, today I'm going to do it. Today I'm going to have one drink, and I couldn't. I was very concerned. I was very afraid. I hid it. I didn't want people to know it at first. It sounded so, not faith-filled, and it was like, here I am, a Christian, and kind of like a leader, and here I am with this problem. And yeah, I was very concerned how people would think, and it's too bad, because we need to be able to, share and accept and love and, stand in the gap for people. And I can see that now, but at the beginning, the devil, I believe, was telling me, don't let anybody know, they'll kick you out, don't let anybody know. And that's sad that, I would believe that, or that, a Christian would believe that. So I definitely want to help people in that area if I can. I would say that Faith Life, they're my church, but they're a family. And they accepted me, they loved me. The pastor and Louise were the first people that I told outside of Tim, my husband. They did everything to love me and accept me and never broke confidentiality with me. And then through the church, I started feeling more confident and that it was okay to share this with other people. And when I would share it with individuals at first, because I didn't know if the whole church could handle it. I didn't know, and so, but when I would tell people, I got nothing but love and acceptance and prayer, everything that the devil told me, there's no way, you do that, you're out, and I always want to be a part. I love people, I love being social, and so the devil told me the opposite of all that stuff, but none of that happened. What happened is everybody loved me and accepted me and just became even more of helping me through this healing. I would say the biggest thing for me was starting to go to AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. At the beginning, I really did that, and they say that you're supposed to go 90 times in 90 days. Well, I didn't do that, but I went a lot, so that was my beginning. And from that date on, I didn't drink any. I just knew that I couldn't drink at all. A big reason that I started drinking, I was bored. I was a nurse, and after that life stopped, it's kind of like I was bored. There was days that I didn't have anything to do, and so it was me and the bottle. And so I started filling my days up with going to AA meetings, stuff, good things, that would help me. Who the sun sets free is free indeed. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. All those truths to me are me. I feel so free, and now I can do sober what I used to have to wait until I got drunk to say and do, because I was scared and intimidated. And now I'm saying things sober that might even seem a little over the top to people, but I'm learning how to be able to express myself, that I have a voice, and it's okay. It's okay to be me. I'm going to a group now called Celebrate Recovery, and at this meeting, it really helps me to understand that not only did I have a problem with alcohol, but there were several other character defects, as they call it, that I have that were really the root of the problem. Being around other people that were like me, that helped me when I would hear their stories. It really helped me just to hear, where they're coming from. It just seemed like there was a season for that, And then after that, then Celebrate Recovery, which is a Christian-based more of helping you with addictions. And I wanted that more. I wanted to be, a Christian environment and that. So it just seemed like God took me through different seasons, different groups of people that could help me. And they did. They helped. It worked. I'm so thankful that God has set me free from alcoholism, and that He continually heals me of many repressed memories, and He is bringing out into the open and healing them. And I'm so thankful for people like Pastor Heath and Louise. When I told them, they did not condemn me. They just loved me and accepted me. The last thing was the elders at our church came over and talked to him and said he talked to him by himself without me. And in that time frame, God started working in Tim's heart, and he came back little by little to our marriage. I could see more of him having a relationship with God. He didn't enjoy church for a long time. He had a hard time with it. So I could start seeing in him a more happy being at church. And so that made me happy. Of course, that helped our relationship, because we had that bond together at church. So we enjoyed that more and more. And our marriage was, happier, again, not so boring as he thought. The future. Well, I'm going to keep on being who I am. I'm going to keep being ready for new experiences in my gifting. I know my gifting is mercy, loving on people, especially people that are the underdogs. That is where I'm at, and when it's like God brings people into my life for seasons, and I've got a couple right now that I am praying for them. I'm a friend to them. I know that it's God that's brought them in, and so that makes me happy. That makes me get up in the morning and just be in a mode of praying and being a friend to them and being there if they need me, and I enjoy that. Well, I would just like to encourage anybody that has heard my testimony today to know that God is so faithful and God is so real. And when He says things in His Word that He will comfort us and that He'll never leave us, that's what He's been to me. I wish I would have maybe spoken up sooner to my Christian friends for help instead of waiting and allowing the enemy just to beat me down and say that if anybody found out that that they would kick you out, because it's been nothing but people loving me, accepting me, and it's part of the healing process. And the more I can expose the lies and bring all this out into the open, into the light, God continues to deliver me and heal me and strengthen me and give me a purpose for living. And I would just encourage you guys to reach out to somebody, because there are godly people out there that want to love you and help you and walk with you through this kind of addiction.